Okay, today's lesson is a review from yesterday, dividing decimals by decimals. Just as a reminder, dividing is the same, just the movement of the decimals can be a little different. So I'm going to go through some example problems. So with decimal, dividing a decimal by decimal, you cannot have any decimals on the outside. Like that's just a rule when you're dividing, is you have to have a whole number on the outside. So that means you have to move the decimal to create a whole number. And then whatever you do to the outside, you have to do the same thing to the inside. So for this one, 12 hundredths, we're going to take the decimal and we're going to move it 2 places to the right to make this 12 on the outside. And then whatever I do to the outside, I have to do the same thing to the inside, so I move it 2 places to the right on the inside. The only problem with that is you come out with an empty place value, so we have to add a 0 in there. So now we've got 12 being divided into 1,860. Once you get here, then you can just divide like normal. So 12 doesn't go into 1, but it does go into 18. You can go in there 1 time. 1 times 12 is 12. Subtract, and we get 6 left over. Bring down the 6. You'll notice the steps are all the same. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. 12 goes into 66. I know that 12 can go into, or 12 times 5 is 60. And that's probably going to be the closest. So 12 times 5 is 60. Subtract, and get 6 left over. Bring down the 0. 12 goes into 60 5 times. 5 times 12 is 60. Subtract, and get 0 left over. And then for this one, to bring the decimal up into our answer, it was right here. So we can bring it up, but it really doesn't change our answer. Our answer is still going to be 155. So just remember where the decimal is, bring it up if you need to, but in this case, it really didn't change the value that we had. We had 155 all the time, so it didn't really change anything. Okay. Another example, this one will be where we have to add zeros to get the answer. So again, when we start dividing with decimals, can't have a decimal as the first value, so you have to move the decimal to get to a whole number. So we're going to move the decimal 1 spot to make this 14 on the outside, and then whatever we do to the outside, we have to do the same thing to the inside. Move this decimal 1 spot. So now we have just 0.7. Alright, once we have that, then we can divide like we normally would. This one can seem a little bit tricky, but remember to add zeros when you can't keep dividing. So 14 can't go into 0, can't go into 7. I'm going to add some zeros here. Can't go into 7, so we have to add a 0. 14 can go into 70. Excuse me. I'm just not sure how many times we can do a little guessing and checking. We can definitely do like 5 to start with. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2 is 7. So we have 5 times 14 is 70. Subtract and get 0 left over. And then no remainder, so we're good. We're just going to bring the decimal up into our answer. So our answer for this one is 0.05. Even though this one was a little bit tricky just to get started, just remember to add those zeros whenever necessary, whenever we can't divide anymore, or we have nothing to bring down, so we can keep dividing to get an answer. Okay, so for this last problem, I'm going to let you guys solve this on your own. I'm going to give you guys your answer, and then I'm going to solve it separately. So, have you guys write this down on a piece of paper. 0.4 divided into 14.4. So for your answer, you should get 36. Go ahead and pause the video right now, work through this problem, see if you can get the right answer. And then when you're finished, you can obviously unpause the video and watch until the end, and I'll solve it. Okay, hopefully you paused and solved the problem, so here you're back. Can't have a decimal in the first number. We gotta move it, make that a 4. Whatever we do to the outside, we have to do the same thing to the inside. So now we have 4 divided into 144. 4 can't go into 1, but it can go into 14. You can go in there 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12. Subtracting it, 2 left over. Bring down the 4. 4 goes into 24 6 times. 6 times 4 is 24. And subtract, 0 left over. So a pretty simple problem there once we get rid of those decimals. Just remember, the decimal's at the end here, and so when we bring it up into our answer, it really doesn't change anything. So it's still going to be 36 no matter what. Alright, so once you're finished here, I have an assignment for you on Connect Ed. I believe it's 5 questions. It's posted in there, 5 questions, all about division. There's actually 2 word problems today. I kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit of a challenge. There's 2 word problems on there today that also deal with it, but just remember, all you're doing today is dividing decimal by decimal, and just make sure you're moving that decimal out before you begin your division. Alright, that is it.